Right. Yeah, I really enjoyed this game. I got a lot of feedback that the audio was too quiet, so tried to fix that. Tell me if it's working. If not, I'll see what I can do. But I think should be working. And I thought that last time though. But if not, do tell me, and I'll get back at it. But and I'll just double check I'm all live on all channels. Yes, I am. With the wrong name, but I'm live. That's the most important thing. So, all right, let me just fix that, and then we'll get going. But yeah, as ever, if you got any global church history questions, or actually, should I keep ambience hours in the title because that's a key part of it? Yeah, maybe I do. Maybe I do. All right, I'll do that. I won't change anything. I'll just go with it. Though I will keep an eye on the stream so I can see your chats. I'll always appreciate seeing your chats. Yeah, so I think everything's running well. Let's jump in then. Day 4. So I think that whole thing where you skip tonight every day, that might be true. So maybe I was all paranoid for nothing yesterday, and we could have just kept going with the game. I don't know. I'm glad I got in that first ambience hours when we could, even if we still can. It just gave me peace of mind, and you'll see it's not all bad. The effect of just leaving it running. Well, I'll try not to spoil it. It will be quite the reveal. But yeah, so I was having a lot of fun. Hope you guys were. And maybe inspired some of you to buy the game. Quite cool. It does feel like it. So, as you can see here, ridiculous amount of flour. So I'm going to start shoveling this across. So it's quite laggy, as I can imagine it's caused by the quantity of flour and oh wheat. Look at that! Quite the tower of flour. How fun's that? So we should be able to do this with impunity, getting the food. So we'll do that a bit, just to get back into the swing of it. I really enjoy this bit. Enjoy all the mini games. I hope, as development keeps going, they will add more mini games. Because there's one complaint I've seen where it's like, it's like I'm spending avoid sugar. That's the only thing. We've just got avoid sugar. Oh, there are sugars in tomatoes. There can be sugars in vegetables. What was I saying? Probably wasn't important. No sugar in rat, obviously. No sugar in chicken. What was I saying? It's in the middle of something. Yes, I hope there are more mini games. I suppose there's no point wasting all the resources then if she's calling herself up on it. Do you think she'd basically just be fine with a cheese sandwich? No need to make it too complicated. cheese. Chicken and cheese. Why not? Let's see. Yeah, all green, all green. All right, let's. 6 points. Wasn't good. Oh, I should have thrown in rat and something like that. Yes, so I hope there's more video because I remember seeing a review that was like, "Oh, it's like I'm spending half my time in this like factory." Whereas I don't mind that so much, but I could imagine one solution would be let's spend loads of time in other little mini games. What's that basic maxed out? You know what I mean? Just more rather than saying because some of them were like, I hate this sort of idea of it. Let's just make it a Fable game, so it's just basically RPG. I'm like, that's just a silly sort of comment. Just it's early access, and what we'd want really is just more depth per thing per feature, but more stuff to be developed basically in this direction, I would say, if I had a complaint, which I don't really. So yeah, well, one of the reasons I thought we should probably get this a bit is to clear up the lag. That might be annoying. Maybe there's no lag on your end. I don't know, but there is on mine. Yeah, I mean sometimes streaming's like that, isn't it? Where it can be all fine on your front, but not on mine. Yeah, we'll see. Alright, there we go, making sandwiches, but it's not their favourite sandwiches, so it's not going to get us the red, which is really what I was after, the red, because that would help us maximise the wheat. But then again, now, do we even need to maximise the wheat? Have we basically this is basically food is complete. You know what I mean? We don't have to worry about the food aspect of the game anymore. Could be. So it's running a little smoother even on my engine, on my screen, on my side. Okay, so what we're going to do is progress tonight. Enough waiting. Oh, no, let's let that person get back in. Should we? Oh, I locked that person out. That was a bit mean. Really, dropping rocks seems a very difficult tactic to beat, because look at the amount of damage, and if you can just keep picking them up like that. Throwing it. So, I mean, maybe, yeah, I don't know what people's criticisms are. I saw there were a few negative reviews. Mostly I wasn't sort of vibing with what they were saying, but maybe some of them sort of think along these lines of, I've got to let the hero kill the monsters. Maybe some of them would appreciate. He's a brute, but a brute. Yeah. But I'm just pretty much enjoying the game as it is. Man, he is pretty good. Say what you will. Does he level up? Can't imagine it's just us. It does. Yeah, I think one of the reasons I wanted to get right back into this next day was because oh, we can still pick them up.
You see how useful these heroes are at defending. But heroes can also be used to explore places that are beyond your hands.
Can you hear the narration? You know, tell me in the comments if you can or can't. Because I'm just hearing what I'm hearing. Also, one thing I want to say is it was apparently just my monitor was not picking up the music properly. So I've been saying like, the music's not sounding off at all. Like, you know, they've gotten one of the best game composers, and then we barely get to hear it. That's not the case. Hello, Emma Hilda. What's up? Hello. Welcome. But yes, apparently that's not the case, because I listened back on a different device to the ambience hours. How's it going? Yeah, I'm enjoying it. I think it's a good bread and dairy, nothing more. Yeah, I think it's a good. Are you talking with yourself? Yeah, at the moment. But I'm happy to talk to the chat. You know, if you're. Oh, it's a dog. I do love dogs. I didn't used to love dogs, but I got a dog. You know, recently. One man army, huh? Yeah. Well, you know, it is what it is. I know a few other people who stream, but they're not streaming at the moment, so I'm just holding the fort. Where am I from? The UK, but you know, I was born in London, then I was sort of raised after that up north, sort of Lancashire, Merseyside sort of area. Nice, yeah, it is a nice area. I like all the places I've been. My British friend. Where are you from then, Emilda? Say bottle of water. Bottle. Yeah, I'd definitely say bottle, but water. Yeah, I'll say bottle of water, I guess. Never thought about it. I'm from Texas, Emma Hilda says. Hello. Hi. I'm an American. Wow. Yeah. Very cool. What part of Texas? I mean, it's a big state. It could be a country of its own right, couldn't it? I mean, that's often in the news. Yeah. Houston. Ah, yeah. I know. I think is my brother going to Houston next summer? I think so. You want my apartment number? Well, I don't think I'd be able to find you. But yeah, was just interested. What side? Yeah. Alright, I'll finish the sandwich. So just bread and dairy and nothing more. So this should do it, I think. Just friendly, never mind. No, that's fine. That, I think, is all the cheese or dairy we have. Let's see. Discord. I haven't used Discord in quite a while. I kind of just respond to comments on the Twitch or the YouTube and that sort of thing. Yeah, I don't know. I'm not on too many social media things. At one point, I was on loads, and it just got a bit sort of overwhelming. I had to sort of trim it down a bit. You know what I mean? So I've got the Facebook Global Church History. We post 2 posts about Global Church History every day. Then, so I, we respond to that sort of thing. So you can do that. Any YouTube comments, Twitch comments, it's the best way to reach, Alright, let's see how it goes. Oh, he enjoys it. 10 points. Alright, that was perfect. Nice. You see the Facebook? Yeah, I mean, I'm happy with the Facebook stuff that goes on, Do you use Instagram? Not really. Yeah, Facebook's kind of the only social. I mean, sometimes people count YouTube as social media, but For me, it's mostly video hosting. Yeah, so not so much for the Instagram. Like, yeah, basically Facebook's it for social media stuff, and then I just kind of just working most of the time. So users just Facebook. Yeah. Oh, I can now possess hover. Oh, we're actually doing it. The RPG element. Here we go.
You cannot simply pick up your hero and drop them inside the mists.
Hmm.
Set out through the northern gates. A young boy is lost and will not survive the night beyond the walls of Oak Ridge. Bring him back before the gates close. Oak Ridge needs its hero at night.
Find the lost boy. I think this is north. Oh no, it is. I tell a lie. But then is that mini map telling us where the boy is? Yes. Nice. All right. So it is a bit of an RPG, isn't it? Chests to find. Bag of money. Mystic. Yeah, I don't think I've achieved too many M's thus far. So that's exciting.
Don't look much like a lost boy to me.
I am recidivist erstwhile, and I demand you escort me to the tavern. My father, somewhat erstwhile, is ensconced within. He shall pay you handsomely when I return.
Right, too nice away from being one of them bloodless bastards. By the look of this old man.
Nice. Yeah, I can hear the music now, so I don't know what was happening yesterday. But, because that's classic Fable sounding. Oh, do we have to stay close to him? It's one of these.
Oh my god, your head is so fat! You run like a plop rolled through sand. Those animals! They're disgusting! You're disgusting.
Yeah, so, you know, as I said before, I do apologise to the devs for saying there wasn't too much music going on. There is, it just wasn't picking up on my device. Barely is even now, but I got a bit of that when it was the violin plucking thing. So maybe some frequencies I'm weaker at. But,
There's a smell coming off you. The smell of idiocy and low breeding.
has he arrived? Alright. Done a quest. And that got us quite a lot of red. So let's see if, what do we want to buy? There's a lot out there.
This is
Armory.
the old bastard better have
Wheat.
that bread ready or I'll...
So we had thought of wheat before.
Here, take this book. Maybe you'll learn something.
The stream doesn't have a standout identity yet. I don't know. I mean, it's about church history, city building, and we have our. I mean, the big thing is the ambience hours. So if you look at the YouTube channel, the ambience is one of the big things. A little polish can make a big difference in pulling people in. That is true. Yeah, that is a good point.
He was bitten by a really great dog.
Well, think about what to polish. Can have another. Oh, there's no heroes in the tavern there. But we'll. Yeah, I wonder how we attract more people into the tavern. You have some ideas for the channel? Alright. Yeah, I'm always up for hearing ideas. Regions? Turret. So we were supposed to build more turrets. I'll get around to that now. Ah, so that doesn't work. Yeah, I just don't know how to easy to build. Oh, I shut the hero on the wrong side. Yikes. There we go. I suppose they're probably mentioned in the tutorial, but I'm never never follow tutorials. I don't know what that is. I always got to find by learning. Or learn by doing. You know. I don't find it too intuitive. Yeah, it does see like this day sticks at noon as well, so it might be every day. I just followed on Facebook. Alright, thank you. I'll check that out after the stream, though this might last a couple of hours. It did last time as well. I really enjoy this game. But I will check that out. And you're right, I do need to think about how I'm reaching people. Right, how do I... Well, I mean, if anyone just started 21 minutes ago, it's true. So this might be, might be an hour 40 left or something. If the last time was anything to go by, I enjoyed doing it. Does that fix it? Yes, I can fix it. That's good. Well, brand identity really matters. That is true. I mean, what's making the most money is the Patreon. On that, we've got articles, all sorts of things. Articles, hagiographies, stuff about church history. So, whereas this stuff was just like, I play a game and people ask me stuff about church history. It had been at first like a play church history things, but then people were... this is the old guys you have on your channel profile picture right now. Yeah, that is the Apostle Peter. He's the Apostle Peter. So there's a book I got out a few years back now, maybe 3 years, maybe more. Melisomnia is raiding. Thank you, Melisomnia. So what was I meant to do? Yeah, I think maybe we were able to do it with just the hero, but still haven't figured out how to how to build the turret. If anyone knows, do say. Melisomnia says hello, Melisomnia. Apostle Peter, big old man. Yes, the Apostle Peter is my profile picture. So I got a book out a few years ago where I gather stories about the apostles from all over the world, and that's called the Book of the 12. And on the cover of that is a picture of the Apostle Peter. Do you like the Apostle Peter? Yeah. He's a good one. I mean, I like all the apostles. How goes it there? I think it's going really well. I find this a really fun game. I love the old Fable games. That's nice. Yeah. The old Fable games, and I've never played Black and White, so there's people who played Black and White are also interested and excited about this game. I never did, so that side of it's all new to me, but I love this world. Fable was wonderful. Yeah, it was. There's a new one coming out. We'll see if it's as good. I do want to maintain optimism. It's got some of the original devs, but there's some original devs on this game as well. And you never know who's having the biggest impact, who's having, So, I'd love for the game to be... For both games to be good. I'd love for this... Oh, the gain on the mic seems to be a touch high. I will sort that now then. Yes. Well, it had been too low. Yeah, it is high. Yikes, thank you. Yes, it had been too low on the previous stream, so people had complained about that. So then, well, I also got a new mic in, So that's obviously affected the levels. But as I was testing it before, just nothing was picking up. Is that, hey, Male Somnia says, so that's better now then. Okay, thank you for the heads up. What kind of mic? It's a producer by M Audio, I think. Oh, that's what it says on it. In music, GmbH. Yeah, I don't know. I'm not too much of a techie. I don't know these things too much. Oh, he's in need of healing. How do we heal him? Yikes. A bit better, but it can peak again if it's too close, maybe. Much better now. Yeah, well, I can put it down again. I don't have too much reason to. Oh yeah, historically on this channel, I've been too quiet, so I've tended to want to set it higher rather than low, on the side of loudness. Now a bit too quiet. Okay, that is how I've erred in the past. I'll try 35%. See if that maybe a bit louder. Is that better? Yeah. Try to meet somewhere in the middle. It's glitched now. Right. Well, yeah, here's the thing. One of the reasons this mic may have gotten so cheap, I may have gotten it so cheap. No, not I may have gotten this so cheaply because the little tripod on the bottom's broken. It's good now. So, yes, positioning mattered. I didn't know position mattered. So I'll see it's fuzzy again. What that's about? I mean, maybe there's processes in the background that are taking up the memory or something. Yeah, memory use is quite high. Not like 100% though. Close. Let's see. I've got the two tabs open. There might be noise cancelling on that cuts me out. That's a good point. I think there is. I may have to turn that off then. Yeah, there's not too much noise in my room anyway. That may be a Windows setting. There's the other thing. I find the new window, like if it were Windows Vista, I mean, maybe I just got to reinstall Windows Vista. But I could sort things out with that. But they've got all the new way of doing the settings. Just don't know my way around it. Game seems good now, but mic positioning might help. Yeah. That's alright. Yeah, thank you for helping. This is a big thing with the streaming that Vista, yeah, Windows Vista XP in 2000. I used a lot of those back in the day, but so 11 is just I have no idea what's going on most of the time. But then like lots of programs kind of need 11 because they're made up of the latest stuff, I guess. XP was wonderful. It sure was. Maybe there's some way I can have the functionality of that. The functionality of both, or that it can like I can interact with it like it's XP. One thing I always hated, they've kind of brought back the start button, but when they got rid of the start button, man, I was fuming. I wasn't too keen on that. But yeah, so what I'm doing now, I'm balancing the microphone a little bit closer. All right. Probably something I can do. So if I put a book on my lap, maybe I can balance it on that. Still on Windows 10. Oh yeah. Is that the one that first got rid of the microphone? Start button. That's what I'm thinking. Yeah, I was like, no, you're not gonna. Right, is it too loud or is it? No, it seems. Yeah. It's too loud. But if it is, please don't. So, yeah. Well, no, it's right by my mouth, so it's not too far, whatever it is. Is it the volume mixing? This this is obviously quite terrible gameplay for the game. Well, my hero's healed again. That's nice. Maybe it was good we gave him a bit of time off. Need to check the pattern. It's all messed up. Yeah. Phone devices. Let's see. That's one thing to do. I don't really know what that means. But I don't know the dog gif. As I say, I've grown to like dogs. I didn't used to, but once I got one, I can see they're just well-meaning little souls, aren't they? They just want to make people happy. So they wander around. Devices. Alright, does anyone use Windows 11 and knows where I can find Windows 11 sound in the recording bit towards me? Is this better? I've kind of positioned the recording bit in front of me, so it was kind of under me before, under my chin, and now it's in front of me. The way you'd see on like an old vinyl cover, someone would have the mic a bit like this, I suppose. Is this picking it up all right? On the OBS, it seems to show it like, you know, oh, it's OBS that has the filters. Yes. So if I bin noise suppression, that's what you're saying. Whoop. Is that too loud? It might be too loud now. Again. Towards the mouth for sure. Is it better now? I've turned off noise suppression. OBS's noise suppression. Is it better or worse? Oh yeah, I should keep talking. Sorry, I was just looking at the device stuff. The history of Albion. Here we go. Oh, we did see this stuff in the room before, and as I say, gain is a bit high now. Could do with a small amount of noise suppression. Yeah. Though I could put the Whoop. That's the problem with balancing it. Well, I'll see if I can find some way to fix the tripod on this. Because that's alright, that seems like the big mic position seems much better now. Before or after I dropped it, did you hear that big bang? Was it better before or after that? This seems good. Okay. Great. Alright, I was messing around with a lot of the I was looking at OBS, looking at the sound going up and down, and this did kind of look good on the chart. Alright, so we missed a bit of story, but it's all recorded, so we can all watch back, you know, when we want. The most important thing is getting this sound, I think, I hope. 33:50 is the timestamp. Thank you. Yeah, I will do. Yeah, alright. And I'll find out how to figure this, and then hopefully next stream this is all sorted, because I have been told, perfect now, so we have to balance it awkwardly. That's fine, I'm glad, as long as I get to stream. And once I get in it, I can like sleep on hardwood floors and everything. I don't mind awkwardness too much. Once I know what I'm doing, and then I can do it. I'm not fussy, so that's fine. It's the only problem for you, possibly, if I slip and then it bangs or something. But I think I've gotten into the mode of it now. So hopefully that's that. Right. Okay. So we've got to possess the hero again. So it's RPG mode again. Or do we want to make more money, or do we? I guess now that we've got quite a few people in the chat, what's everyone up for? What do they want to see in the game? Sorry to jump in with all the mic feedback. No, not at all. That's really helpful, because there's been people have said with the mic stuff before, but they weren't totally able to help. They just said, "Oh, the mic's sort of wrong," and they weren't. So this has been incredibly helpful. Thank you so much, and thank you for raiding. That's really helped me out a lot. Buy a lumber mill. Hey. Yeah, really helpful. So do keep up with that sort of thing. Any help, and hopefully, eventually, I'll kind of know what to do. But for the meantime, I definitely do need help while I'm starting. I know how to rotate now. That's helpful. I was just playing this. It seems cool. Yeah. Very cool, and it's got so many of the old Linehead crew. A lot of the people who worked on Dungeon Keeper, and Dungeon Keeper's Bullfrog, but there's some of the Bullfrog crew too. Like really getting the team back together, and I always love to see that sort of thing. I love, I love these old games. I love the theme park games, particularly. I love those, but everything Bullfrog. It was always great. Bullfrog and Linehead, all the Fable games. As I say, I am hopeful, cautiously optimistic about the Microsoft Fable reboot. I would obviously love to see that game go great as well. For there to be 2 Fable games that I love at once. That's the dream. Theme Hospital left a super good impression of Bullfrog. Yeah, the theme games. They should have kept going with those, but they were working on theme games really just as they got shut down. Bullfrog. So that was planned to be their future, and then it didn't work out. I guess. Harvest, so that means rats, and just rats. That's all they want. I loved the old Bullfrog Linehead. What else did Linehead do? Was it? I think, like, for me, only Fable rings a bell. And I guess Black and White, as I said, I never played that. 10 points. That was perfect. Yeah. So, what was I saying? So, yeah, alright, that's it. We're getting into the groove of it. So I guess we can just let them go, and we adventure as the hero. They can level up. They can have followers. Followers seems helpful. Gosh, alright, what do you think, chat? What do you think? Should we give Big? Oh no, that's not his name. Big doesn't. What this lug is. Doesn't have a name, our fledgling, but follower. I'm inclined to follow her. What does everyone else think? Follower. I mean, Healthy did get knocked out last time, or just able to make more experience, so then we get the rest of it quicker. There's quite a few levels. Wow. So we could build up an army. I tried followers, but mine was just walking behind the hero with a bushel of wheat and kept waving at the enemies. Yeah, alright, that is something to remember. It is early access. So because there's so much to do, extra experience might not be the worst idea. I guess the problem with experience is once you max out your levels, then that's like a wasted level, isn't it? It's like you... but it means we could be powerful. More of a moral support, by the way. Yeah. Oh, that's a shame. I can imagine there's things like that in other early access, like Bannerlords has a lot of things where it's like I can see this will be an awesome picking up humming. Yeah, that's obviously where the noise cancellation is useful. My PC started humming. It was starting to stress a bit about something. Could be that. Oh. So I suppose we'll have other heroes that could maybe end up being more powerful, but if we get this guy to do XP, that means we could max out. Or we just do health. Because he got knocked out last time, and that's the last thing we want. So I guess I'm thinking health. Should we go health then? But yes, thank you for the feedback. Let's not do follower in this stage. And it's always worth saying that on streams, on other stuff, because the devs do interact with fans really well. They've so space defends. Would always be nice to have a jump option. I always like jumping. It's a pedestal. On day 8 and 9. That seems correct. Alright, so I've got to twist that around then, I guess. Yeah. So I've got to. How do I twist it around? There. I think that's the way to do it. There you go. Alright, so yeah, you're definitely further ahead. Well, I'd just let it go overnight doing this ambience thing, because that's one of the big things we do on the channel. Some of the ambience videos get thousands of views, so that's essentially the big thing we do. So I left it overnight doing an ambience video, and then I woke up with an unbelievable amount of food. So yeah, I am just on day 6, but I think food wise I'm ahead. Isn't that what? Now can it? Oh, I saw the stacks, yeah. So that is not how it stacks, I guess. Or is it? No. What? I mean, it gave me a load of red pea, so that's not in. Yeah, so that the previous one's slotting just fine. Yeah, so I mean, one of the ambiences that's getting quite big is an Age of Empires one I did in Egypt. So people quite like ancient Egypt. That one's gotten quite big, and then Anno 1800 that keeps coming back. I love the Anno games. I don't know if any of you do. Is that sliding? I don't think it is. Why is this not? Yeah. So I'll probably set it off. So what I did last night, and I'll probably do it again this night, is set it off doing an ambience video. All night. So then you get 8 hours of it if you're one of these people that just loves locking in throughout the day with an ambience. Oh no. Oh. Gosh, alright, you solved this before. How did? Oh, there was a piece in the. Oh, goodness me. I didn't see it behind the tree. Alright, there it is. Oh, nice with a cozy emoji. Nice. I mean, the ambiences are quite cozy, if I do say so myself. And I was developing some games of my own, so I could do ambiences just as like whatever the fans are interested in. I could just sort of do a game that has that sort of ambient. You know, if everyone kind of likes ambience. Whoa. Oh, this is cool. So we've got a seaside. Oh, what kind of games? Well, as the Global Church History Project, I was doing one where you play through different people throughout church history. I was working on like the Apostle Thomas. The game's taken over a bit again. Oh, well, I'd been leaning down, so if I keep my back up, is this better? Okay. Yeah, so I was doing one game, and so one of the things I'd done was get a whole topographical map of the island of Socotra, which is one of the places the Apostle Thomas is said to have preached in by the locals. Can I open that chest, or it has to be the explorer? So I was going to do that, and I was going to fill it with all the sort of flora, because it's got very unique flora and fauna and that sort of thing. So you kind of explore it, and then there's loads of mini games, because as I say, I love mini games, and there'll be a kind of mini game anthology to it, and you collect coins and stuff, and then there's like a kind of lobby world where you get coins and things. You can buy gachapon, that sort of thing. So it's like that was one game I was working on a while back, and then then what I found was some of the skills I've developed. I still want to lower the gain a tiny amount, increase noise suppression. Yeah, okay. What was that? Of reduce the gain. Was it? Yeah, reduce the new one. I think so. So filters was where I had the suppressor. Noise suppression. Call it noise suppression. Yeah, so it just kind of has a flat noise suppression thing. It doesn't have levels to it. So I've put it on again. Let's see. Well, as I'm making it on, I was using Godot, because that's very useful, and I'd done a lot of Python coding before that point. And they did design Godot to be useful if you're, you know how to Python code. You can use Godot as well. So I found that quite useful. Very sort of open source looking and all of that. And I've got Blender. I was learning how to use that and some other things. And you've obviously got things like Meshy and things. I guess I find AI stuff useful, especially for staging. Yeah, the noise suppression does seem to make it worse. Yeah, I was thinking. I think basically I'm going to have to, between streams, download some sort of plugin that might have a better noise suppression. And in the meantime, expander equalizer maybe. Yeah, I don't know which of those would be useful. But yeah, I might have to just get a different noise suppression in future. So I was using Godot, and then things like Meshy can be useful. There's other things. I've got Agisoft. They have a great sort of mostly for topography and things, but using photogrammetry is, we're living in the future. Although they've had photogrammetry since the 80s, but like it does feel like we're living in the future with all the photogrammetry that's going on. It's a very cool time we're living in. Is that a mine? Uh-oh. Should I put it in the water, the mine? What do you think? Oh. No, that means I've lost the mine forever. Hopefully the mine wasn't terribly important. Oh, that's out of our reach. snakes. That does seem like something. If you can just hurl things into the sea and never get them back. For noise suppression, you should be able to change the method to speaks if you're using OBS. Yeah, it didn't show that option for me. I don't know why. I'll read out the options I have. Let's see. Filters. Oh yeah, so I was using filters. Is there another way to do the noise suppression? Could be. As I say, I'm not very techy. Well, you know, as I've been coding in Python and all that, I'm that sort of techy, but not so much this. Yeah, so I've just kind of got the basic filters. I think that they're just the basic ones. Let's see. Settings, is it? Advanced. Recording. String delay. Automatic reconnect. Sources, hotkeys. Audio. Advanced. Output. Yeah, all the sort of audio visual stuff I should obviously get better at, and that would certainly help the whole Global Church History project sound better if I knew that. Filters, noise suppression method. Yeah, that's what I was using before. So that's the one that would seem to be causing all these problems. So I don't know. I mean, I think it's picking up the game sounds partly. So, gain limiter, noise gate. Is a noise gate useful? I wonder what that means. You don't have a method drop down? Yeah, no, it doesn't show method. It just has noise suppression or not. Maybe I've got an old version of OBS, I don't know. I thought it keeps updating whether I like it or not, like it keeps annoying you saying, oh, method. Oh yes, it speaks. Oh, I see. So the low CPU usage is better than R and noise. Alright, I'll use speaks. Is that better? Right, so I hadn't seen that. That is better. Okay. Right. So I guess I must have looked over it because they just say, oh, it's lower quality. So I was like, oh, ignore it. But then it's much better. Okay. Thank you. That's good to know. Alright. So what was I saying? Yeah, so I'd been developing that game and then I was doing mini games in it. So like in that sort of world between worlds, there were like arcade games and stuff. You could spend the coins you earn in the sort of history world where you've been doing all of that. The game's kicking in again, but still much better. Yeah, let's have a look. There was a gain filter thing. So if I put it down, is that better? Try to put the gain down a bit. So they have 2 towers, or 3 towers. That's quite nice. Yeah, so I was doing that. So I was also developing just little fun arcade games and things to use it in. So yeah, just things like that. There were some other games, but then I recently made some things with Unity. Currently working on a small game with a friend on Godot, but new to it. Yeah, nice. One thing, I downloaded Unreal because they've got that MetaHuman thing, which you can export characters to Godot and use them in Godot, which is incredible, really, because you can get such good character designs. And as I've got like a photogrammetry realistic level of in Socotra and things, to have a pretty realistic human character design, I thought would be quite useful. So I did have Unreal for a bit, but then basically I'd looked at the people had leaked, maybe I don't know if leaked is quite the right word, but information had come out about how much money people can get doing creations for Bethesda, and they let you have 37.5% of the revenue. So I was like, oh, well, if I'm gonna do things, the first thing I should get out then, I should be doing these creations for a bit, because some of them get millions of downloads, and if you get like tried Unreal, not sure about it, the workflow seems off for me. Yeah, I agree. And also, Unreal games are just so big. Like, I complained about this on the last stream, but, when I've got Elder Scrolls Online, Oblivion Remastered, and, so that both of those are 120 gig over there. And so it's like, there's no sense of compression, whereas Godot is always trying to compress things, and this might be Unity. I think, this is a Unity game. And so this is only 8 gig. And that stuff really matters to me, even though I got a terabyte of solid state. But even still, I've got to do all this work, and work can take up loads of space. So, I just don't have space. If I just want to get a bunch of games, if they're Unity games, I can get 100 of them. Whereas I can only get 5 if it's Unreal. And it doesn't seem that much. It doesn't seem like 100 times better graphics than Unity. Or even Godot if used properly. It doesn't seem 100 times better. Well, it would have to be that for me. Though I can understand if it's all uncompressed and everything, maybe it can be easier on the graphics card and your RAM. I can understand why there is a kind of balance to be had, but for over 100, in the last post about this, they said they work on optimizations and more. Nice. From Unreal, so that is good, because I'd love to see old Unreal games that I love updated a bit. I think is Anno 1800 that, because that's also 80 gig, but maybe that's their own proprietary thing, is also uses 80 gig, I don't know. But it's always frustrating, because it's like loads of these games I love, and barely get to play them, because like I just can't use my work PC alongside these games, though that that's probably for the best. Once I get a bit more money, I might get separate gaming and work PCs. I think that's probably wise. But yeah, alright, if they are optimizing, I'd love that, because I'd love to be able to play Oblivion Remastered, and for that not to just take up my entire PC, not my entire, but over a 10th of my PC. I'd love that. Because I really loved Oblivion Remastered. It did feel like playing it for the first time. I remembered being a kid playing it, and it felt exactly like, I was like, wow. Because people always say these things, these memes online, they're like, you don't want to feel what it's like to play Oblivion for the first time. You want to feel what it was to be a kid, because you were happy then. And they always say that, and they say that enough that you believe it. And then I've just played Oblivion Remastered, and it felt like playing Oblivion for the first time, and I was like, no, I actually did just want to feel like I'm playing Oblivion for the first time, and no game's done that for me in ages. So I would love Oblivion Remastered not to take up 120. Well, the optimizations for Massive Albion, oh right, I mean that's crazy, because like, as I say, compared to other games, it is quite optimized for me. I'm glad fans are saying, take up to task, get it as optimized as possible, I guess, with squeaky wheels, getting the oil and all of that. But yeah, I don't know, because it's only 8 gig, that was a lot. I remember when I first downloaded Skyrim on 11.11.11. It gets a bit out of hand later. But I mean, it's rendering all this flower just fine. Look at that. That is a bit game breaking, isn't it? Alright, but alright. I will keep that in mind then. And you're only 2 days ahead, so in 2 days it will be utterly broken. Hello, is the mic fixed? Yeah, we've tried to fix it. I think it's better. I think, yeah, we've been trying out different levels and different filters and that sort of thing. Oh, am I not allowed to? Ah, I have to use the hand. Very well. Not 100, a little bit, not 100%. Yeah, for some things the big file size might be good, but usually that extra is not added anything valuable. Yeah, I agree. And there's ways of optimizing. Seems to move sometimes. The mic, yeah. Well, that is trying to balance it as best as I can. It's fair to understand.
Is it here? It's not here, is it? Look,
Can you hear the game sounds as well?
you fix the singing
I don't want to be talking over that too much.
piece to this sacred space, and I'll tell you what I know about that book. Find the stones and place them within the sacred circle. But you've got to get them in the right order, man. Tap my tent when you're done, and let me hear the stones' song.
Alright, I'll put the, so I upped the level just then, so you could hear all that. Your Facebook is, well, yeah, I don't know if I should say it on stream so you don't get bombed, but yes, I will check it, but I've just been in game, but I definitely will, and I do appreciate all advice. I do want to make sure things get big, you know, I do want to see the Global Church History project take off. Place stones in a circle, then tap the hippies tent. Yeah, but what you're saying about yeah, for something big file size, yeah, I think to some extent I feel that with Elder Scrolls Online that there is a lot of content, but I mean whether or not it could be you could just download it partially or something, because it's all online anyway, so to what extent could you that's nothing to do with Elder Scrolls 4 Oblivion Remastered though, but oh, that was getting a bit of a performance issue then. Yeah, I mean there's a lot of content in Elder Scrolls Oblivion Remastered, but yeah, it still need to be 120 gig. But yeah, no, I agree, there are good reasons to do it, but it's just if every single game is assuming this has got to be the one that takes up most of your free space, then I can only have one game at one time, and that often makes me not like a game, because if you're forced to play a game you can often resent it a bit. You're like, oh, you know, if it's the only one. Whereas if you can just pick it up whenever you feel like it or not, I tend to like it a bit more. And you get, you know, there's great visuals in like Rayman, I would say, in this, in loads of other ones that are like under 10 gigs. So, you know, where does this go? So put it in the circle, and then it sings. Ah. Some people have limited data connection, so downloading someone takes forever. That's the other thing, yeah. Yeah, absolutely. Even me, so I'm in London and I've got you know, fairly good internet and it's all Ethernet. But yeah, it's like I set it off and it takes a day. So it's like I've got to figure out if it's like all my favourite games are all on Unreal. So they're all 120 gig plus, sometimes like 200. I have to decide, am I going to be in the mood to play this tomorrow? Whereas loads of games that are on GOG, some Ubisoft ones, you know, I can just decide each day. I just feel like, oh, I'm in the mood for a platformer. I just load up Rayman, bada bing, bada boom, playing it. I play Heroes of Might and Magic, some of the old ones, even, you know, like 5 onwards, still are not huge. I can just, you know, whenever I get the feeling. Do I have to play a specific tune? Oh, that's one to get rid of. Is it? I think so. That sounds right. Ooh. That one's also out of tune. So get rid of it. I see. I was thinking, like, what's this all about? There we go. Yeah, what was I saying? Yeah, I just like being able to switch between things. I mean, why I loved all those old Java games, I don't know if they work anymore. I thought Java shut down. But they would be great. They just have a website and they're very small downloads. You can just play whatever you want whenever you feel like it. But yeah, these huge downloads. You just got to think. And book it. They're good if you're like, I'm going to book in a week and I'm going to play through Morrowind. But otherwise, no. Do you remember how to do this? What am I missing? Oh, then tap the tent.
That's the right stones, but the wrong order.
Oh,
Do, re, mi,
wrong
my friend.
order.
Do, re, mi.
I'm really bad musically.
That one don't budge, man.
Yeah, these are funny characters. I like them. Oh, so we definitely don't want this one. What? Oh, I shouldn't have gotten rid of that other one because it was the right one. Just the wrong order. Was it there? Yes, but I don't want it there. I love listening to music. But,
That's the right stones, but the wrong order. Do, re, mi, my friend. Do, re, mi.
I'm not the most musically gifted, even if I like listening to music, so this might take a while. Hope it doesn't. Alright, maybe that one goes there. Whoops. What other games have come out that I might like as an old Fable fan? Oh, have I done it? Hey! I'm not tone deaf after all. There we go.
Alright, I'll tell you. That book. I wasn't always like this. I had a job once. Good one. Groom of the stall for King Orlan and his family. King Orlan, the warrior king. Now there's a joke. Man's nothing more than a bully in furs.
Oh, we did see the
Last
tapestry.
I've seen His Majesty was with his boys, Thaddeus and Malmus. Like chalk and cheese, them two, but each of them sour like rotting meat inside. The palace has been alive with plans for war since I started on the That night was the eve of the campaign. The only thing he had left to do was assign his boys a place in his army. To Thaddeus, the people's champion, his father's golden boy, he says, "You will captain the cavalry. You will be on that avenging angel. The glory role. The hero's role." Little prick loved that, didn't he? But to his other son, Malmus, he says, "You will assist the quartermaster, a role befitting your abilities." Might as well have made him a piss pot boy, know what I mean? Malmus gets this look on his face, like he's about ready to burn down the palace and everyone in it. He turns to his old man and he says, "I'll see you dead first." That's it. Thaddeus explodes. "Traitor," he shouts, spitting fury. He looks ready to kill. There's no love lost between them two, let me tell you. Malmus' dog, it was a wolf. It gets up on the table and growls at Thaddeus. Thaddeus makes for the sword, but the dog's up and over the table like a fucking bolt. King Orlan, like a man possessed, whips out his blade and scythes it through the air, cutting the dog's head clean off. The chamber falls silent, but for the bounce of the dog's head on the floor, and the hiss of its blood as it jets across the wall. And then Thaddeus is laughing, and Orlan's telling Malmus to stay home, bury your dog. They leave, pleased with themselves, actually pleased with themselves. Malmus is clutching his dog's head. Blood is everywhere. Then I hear him. Just so faint, but I hear him. "I am your avenging angel." Look, man, I can't talk about this no more. I need to channel my chakras, man.
What he has told us is of little use. There is more for us inside this addle-pated half-wit's head. We must let his mind settle before we probe it again.
Oh, £1,000. Can't go wrong with that. Yeah, quite the story.
Macabre stories from around the chamber pot are all well and good, but you have more pressing concerns.
I dunno. My bladder has pressing concerns and every can't find my piss pot.
What's that? What happened to that mine?
The attacks of Zycrodine.
We've got it! We've got the mine back!
One has no need of the Arcadium's gifts.
There we go. Nice. I'm gonna say. But yeah, so alright, you can even do loads of the story in the early access. So it's not quite as early as early access as Man and Lords to some extent. But it does seem like there's a lot of features behind closed doors, but does also seem it's like a pretty complete game so far. But then you have kept warning me. It's like, oh yeah, you could say that so far. So yes. Yeah, it definitely seems like there's a lot of things you can do already. Most will be balanced later. Yeah. Yeah, and you know, they're a creative bunch. They might add new little features in games and things. You never know. And the promise that there will be 3 chapters. I mean, people do always say Molyneux promises too much. I think even he's said that on occasion. Oh, look at that! Are we allowed to venture in there? If you get stuck on things, you can just reload a specific day. Oh, right. Oh, that is helpful. Should we explore that place then before? See if we can. And there's a few chests anyway. Yeah, a lot of people have said that best viewers thing. I wonder what that's about. Don't know if you've ever seen. Had to reload on day 4. Ran out of things and can progress. Yeah, I had to. Although I didn't restart, but I probably could and probably should have done. Oh, I can't reach it yet. Alright. Because I had gotten a rock stuck in the doorway, and then none of the people could actually get in. I can enter. Oh, need to ban those. Yeah, I will need to get a mod. I haven't really had too many people chatting live. I would tend to get comments afterwards. Ooh, berry tart pack. So you get more stuff. Nice. Yeah, I will have to reach out to get a mod. Definitely, you're right. That stuff can be serious. Yeah, getting stuck on the stairs a few times. Yeah, that sort of stuff has happened. But as I say, it does seem like a responsive development team. It's in the small state you can add yourself. Yeah, I haven't had that. I had it literally jammed in the doorway, so they just couldn't get in. It's very frustrating. Look at these. Are these bandits? I mean, I assumed they were bandits, but maybe they weren't. Goodness me. Might have to run. I think I had 3 doors for one of the buildings. Oh yeah, I suppose that's one way to solve it. Maybe I should have done that. But his wedge jumping would have been nice. I got stuck in that little pool. I should definitely add jumping, I think. Alright, I'll have to get this guy healed up. Exit that way. I wonder if we could use the guy to lure those bandits here. Yeah, he is healing. Yes, if I could lure the bandits. This is where my follower just kept hugging his waving at the bandits. Yeah, it does sound annoying. Although we don't really need more farmers, do we? We've got too much crops as it stands. Return card. Yes, so. Lumber. Yes, I forgot that. We were meant to be doing that. Do you ever get to play as your little character again? He's in there. Helm's Crypt. It would be fun if you do. And that's always one of the things I loved about the old Lionhead games, is they did have like things like the guild or... What do you think of the food design system? I find it really fun. I saw some reviewers didn't. Not so far, at least. Maybe later. Yeah, they're always good at that. Like they're like make a part of the game as like an interactable scene, but then you're like, oh no, it's basically just a menu. And then it just suddenly twists it around. Like, no, this is it. Like, you know. I tried not to avoid it. Spoil it last time. Which is that? Chicken stock. Yeah, that was the right one. Or meat. Condiments. No condiments necessary. But they're always great at doing that. So I hope they do that, because that's always fun. Oh, he likes it? Mate. 7. Yeah. But yeah, I like the food design system. It's quite fun. You get a little creative juices. I like those little bursts of creativity. Like Jet Set Radio is great for that. I think the food system is cool. Did get a bit laggy later on. Oh, you are warning me. Alright, so I'm glad they're working on performance. Maybe they'll get it performing better by the time I reach those parts. I am playing in quite slow, it's quite a slow pace. So maybe that's the best way to play it while it's in early access. Just had a tilt shift thing going on. What does that mean? Ooh. It is yeah, like the blurry thing, is it? The my graphics card's a 1080, so it doesn't do all the best. Yeah, I have a Radeon integrated graphics. I think it's a Radeon. They do a blurry thing, yeah. Yeah, like there's that version of it that people were talking about on Facebook for a while. People went crazy. Yeah, it makes it miniature. I was going to say that. I love those where you just see like a farm. They've got like a big farm and someone's done the tilt shift thing, and it looks like a little Thomas the Tank Engine miniature world come to life. Oh, it's so lovely. It genuinely makes me very happy to see that. Whenever I do see it. Can't get enough of that stuff, really. I mean, if I were my brother's into photography, maybe he'll get into that sort of stuff. But if I ever did get into photography, I suppose I'd do stuff like that. Let's get our guy out, because he was Google. I was like, how to explain tilt shift. Oh yeah, but I'd seen it on Facebook. I mean, when it comes to memes and Facebook and stuff, you know. I've seen a lot of that, so that's often the best way to explain things to me. Tilt shift, yeah, very cool things. Yeah, I heard there were other uses for tilt shift, but just online, because that just was like what everyone was wanting, really. So when people are like, oh no, we can also, it's like, nah, don't care. I just want to see a little miniature world come to life. Where should I put my armory? There. It's on a lot of good places. Here. Maybe. Though I don't want it to use up wood. Anywhere where there would be wood grown. Yeah, this will do. We've got an entrance. We need action, and I like this side of it. Everything some people will complain, oh, it's like everything snaps on too much. Whereas I don't get that so much. I think there's just the right amount of creativity. Like I was saying with Jet Set Radio, I always loved when you get to design your graffiti that your gang uses in Jet Set Radio. Yeah, you like the snapping on. Yeah, me too. It feels structure is a good way to get creative for a lot of people, me included. It's like a vine, like the kind of structures you put vines on, whether it be the side of a building or canopy or whatever. That helps it grow, the structure. You let it snap onto things, whereas just total creativity, like a free-for-all. It's like people often give better questions if you say, what would you do with £1 million? Rather than what would you do if you had infinite pounds. People are just like, oh, I don't know, infinite pounds. Like, they just trying to comprehend infinity. And then it's like, oh no, forget about that. What would you do with £1 million? And that's basically the same question. But that sort of thing, isn't it? Just having like a bit of structure doesn't ruin creativity. No matter what people say. Need male armor. Can I force my fellow to get armored? We'll do. Berserkers might not want it. The only change I would make is move the decorative items to a separate menu. Instead of having individual decorations based on building type, because you can add any block to any building anyway. Yeah, I agree. That's true. And then, I mean, you know, as everyone's hoping there is more depth added as the game goes along, it would be better if each menu just brings up what's utilitarian, because otherwise it might get overwhelming that way. And the roofs seem roughly the same, don't they? Roofs and other things. That's a different roof. But yes, I agree. But I love the art. It does feel like Fable. And it's a bit ambiguous as to whether it's exactly the same. Though, presumably it can't actually be, no matter what Molyneux says, it can't actually be the Fable Albion, because there is the Spire in the Fable Albion, but to the east there's that big mountain range, and then there's Samarkand on the other side, and there's none of that here. So it could be like a post-apocalyptic one. The Spire does suggest it's kind of the same one, but so maybe it's a post-apocalyptic Albion. They did light very nicely. I like, light, that sort of 360 area of heavy bloom. I love like that sort of thing. It's art that's designed to make you happy. And then people were like, oh no, but like it's, you know, low brow, and it's just, you know, let's make it all serious and things later. And it's like, nah, just do the heavy bloom like in Viva Pinata and all the rare games from that period. It, you know, Oblivion. It just looks good. It makes you happy. Wonder if you might get Emerald being on the table with the new noise suppression. Just need to make sure the front bit's facing me. Yeah. Well, that's the difficult bit with the tripod. So yeah, I'll give it a go. It's quite the balancing act. Yes, bloom and fog and god rays. Yeah, we love all that stuff. Yeah, that's facing towards me, the light bit, the bit with the light. I've got it balanced so it's facing down. It's like horizontal. But it is. This could be good. All right. Yeah, if it's working. Nice. All right. If I've finally got the audio working, and I never used the visual anyway. My previous camera was attached to a camera, but I was never using that anyway. So this could be good. And people were always complaining about the sound in that one. So yeah, all right. This will be it. Maybe I can revisit some old games and everything, and then, you know, Hexarchy and some of the other ones I was playing. Could do. I've forgotten what they... Oh yeah, so we're just meant to have nighttime now, aren't we? Alright, I'll do that then. I've been just chatting a lot, but I hope you've all enjoyed that. So I can place my hero there. Might be more comfy as well if you don't have to hold it. Yeah, I mean, if the sound's better, if it's and it is more comfortable, definitely. I can just sort of slouch a bit, you know. Maybe I shouldn't be slouching from my back, but you know, I do feel more comfortable, definitely. Yeah, I wish I could build a tower here. Oh. My wish is granted. That's what I'll do then. Here's uprooting a tree, but I don't think it's a useful tree. Yeah. Yeah, good point. Oh my goodness, he's nearly dead. Let's bail him out. Well, let's get him healing, actually. Heal hero. Oh, look at that. Yeah. Yeah, this is the best. So it is sort of balancing on the table, but it's doing the balancing act rather than my belly. So that does seem all around better, doesn't it? tell you, one world I always weirdly liked, but you'd think like it's a weird, almost silly thing to like. But the Mountain Blade in the beta, it's like a fantasy world, and then they make it sort of serious and realistic-ish. Oh, he's coming for me. Oh, I thought I dropped someone there. That's not a pick-upable rock. Oh, I just survived. Oh,
It's no shame running out of time. The master's your friend in this instance. Take heart, young one.
oh, this was the going back thing. Nice. Yeah, you did mention that, going back in time. Right. Ah! That zombie's still around. Right. That's quite cool. Tell you what. In terms of time travel being integrated in a game, it was difficult to beat Blinks. If you ever played that on the original Xbox. Blinks and Blinks 2, I loved both. They were great. And great art. Very fun game, very fun puzzles. Great characters, great music. The lot. I always wished they made more Blinks games, but they just made the 2. My brother's favourite was always number 2 because he got to play as the villains in them, and he quite liked the villains. But is he just letting the zombie survive? Right. So I don't know if anyone watching us has played the old Blinks games, Blinks the cat, but those were great. But that integrates time travel. You're like a time policeman who's a cat. And it's just integrating really well. It's like puzzle focused and just, yeah, tough to beat. There's loads of games I play, and because it was one of the first games I ever played when I was little. No, maybe not the very first game, you know. But it's like there. I was a kid and I liked playing it. A balanced sandwich. Bread and leaf. Oh, am I supposed to have better bread? Solitary slice is probably more nutritious, isn't it? Bread and leaf. I think. So that uses 3. That uses 3. So they're the same. Green or leaf. Vegetables aren't leaves. Do I just double up the amount of leaf? I mean, I've never really done that before. It has diminishing returns. Yeah. Just bread and leaf. I can have more bread. Do it like a Big Mac. That's the way to do it. I think. But salt is crazy expensive. Yeah. And only £1 profit. The big leaf. The big leaf? Oh, the Big Mac, I see. Yeah. It's not been enough though, is it? I guess. Alright, here's my backup plan. We use a bottom bun, then a couple of leaves. Then this is the filling. So we're still using the Big Mac one, but we're getting around the diminishing returns. It's not enough. Oh.
That's a mighty complex product. It's going to take a load of resources. Hope you know what you're doing.
I think we've got to do that. It seems a bit silly, but they give you that freedom in this game. No, it's not good enough. Oh. So I need more than one leaf. Berry tart. Let's see if that's got any... No, nothing leaf related. Weaponsmith. Let's put that with the armourer, really. Boom. Have you tried the big arch? I don't know if they have it in America. I would hope so. Although, here's a crazy thing. There were loads of things I had in McDonald's back when I lived in Carmarthen, which is a suburb of Port Talbot in Wales. So, like, quite off the beaten track in a way. The McDonald's near there had all the latest tech, all the latest recipes and stuff. So the stuff I would eat there, people would only get that, or devices, like that whole thing where you, instead of ordering, oh, you're not in the US, Melisomnia. Where are you from? Yeah. But yeah, like that thing where you use that thing by the side, and it's just a machine and you can order on that. We had that years before it was anywhere else. Before I saw Americans ever talking about it. Before I saw it in Finland. Oh, I've got a lot of Finnish friends. Oh, nice. There's friends of mine called the Peltolas, and that's like a very Finnish name, and they're from Finland. Wow, what are the odds? Well, it's not nothing, but it's quite nice. I like those odds. Finland. They love Moomins. I don't know if you love Moomins, but they do. And that's apparently quite a Finnish thing. And Finland and England have a lot of shared history. Like Henry the English, who was the first bishop of Finland, and that sort of thing. Oh, you love Moomins. That is good. Nice. Definitely love the Moomins. Yeah, they do seem fun. I think I must have watched a lot of that as a kid, because I didn't eat. I must have forgotten about Moomins, and then talking to the Peltolas, they had all this Moomin stuff, and then it's suddenly like, whoa, I know this guy, just like a really deep memory. As I say, I must have watched a lot of Moomins. But they seem fun. I think I'm going to modify this, because it forced me to build the roof. I didn't really want a roof. You know what I mean? I thought, like, why waste one of these enhancement spots? Used to read the comic books too. Oh, nice. They seem good, and there's a lot of games I've seen. I often think about buying some of my Finnish friends some of their Moomin games, but then I think they've probably already got them, so there's no point. Yeah, huge franchise, isn't it? And they've got Moomin plushies and Moomin books, definitely, and they've got the films, all of it. Any Moomin product, they will have it. And they don't even claim to be the most Moomin obsessed person they know. They just have all that. They are nice. I do like them. And this sort of kind of very calm human guy. I forget what he's called, but he seems very chill, very cool, very in control. I like him. Very calm, and that's something we found with our Finnish friends, that they're just very calm. So we were like quite hectic and weird. Yeah, the green guy, forget his name, he's like a forest man or something, and he's very calm and collected, at least in the stuff I've seen. But yeah, so we found our Finnish friends are very calm, and would be like always trying to work ourselves up and stuff, and they Finnish people are like, no, there's no need for that. Very sort of stoic northernism. Snufkin. Yes, I think I've heard that name. I can't pronounce the other one. I'm very sorry. I should learn Finnish because I've talked a lot about Finland, or I've written a lot about it, because it's very easy for me to write about it because I can just copy and paste. But I definitely should. I know, like, so I used to think it would be like Suomi, but no, it's like Swami. From what I know, from what I've heard from my Finnish friends correcting me, and that's about as far as I've ventured into it. Tell you what, I should get more magic, shouldn't I? Mana increased could be useful, but more damage. I'm leaning more damage. Yes, I think it is Swami. Is the old name for the Finns. Well, there's lots of old names for the Finns, isn't there? Because they're very ancient people. Makes sense, not only because Swa means swamp. Oh, right. Yeah, and you did, and that was where the Swedes first landed, was in the southwest, where there were lots of swamps. And St. Henry the Englishman was killed in a swamp, I think. And there were some other English saints who died in Finland, who, you know. I think he died in a swamp, and then the guy got away going on his skis, and I forget his name. But yeah, that was where the Swedes landed. So it's a huge country, but that was what struck them. It's like Canada is named after like, it's just one of the native groups' word for village, and they said, "Oh, where have we landed now?" And they say, "Oh, you're in the village," and they just hear, "Oh, you're in Canada," so they think that's the name of it. So it's just whatever you encounter first becomes the name of the people. Yeah, so that makes sense. It's the swamp people, because that's all they thought Finland was. But then it's got all those beautiful forests and stuff, like that one Santa Claus lives in. It's a huge country. Used to be bigger, of course. Sweden, Russia, and Norway have, of course, all taken land away from Finland over the years, tragically. But it's still huge. It's not like one of those, like you see Armenia. Armenia used to be humongous, and now it's very small. And I think it's Armenian Genocide Memorial Day today, or it was yesterday, but I think it's today. So I mean, you think about that, they used to be huge. So, but well, used to not be independent at all. That is true, but because they were so fiercely independent as a people, even when it was Russia, it was the Grand Duchy of Finland, and they had to have their own government. They had to officially be Lutheran and all of that, so they couldn't impose orthodoxy. I'm sure they did try. So as long as the people were proud and independent and so on, no matter what happened to the politics, they were able to hold on. Though, you know, depends on the government. So, like, the Ottomans were good at breaking independent people, but the Russians, not always. You know, they did at least allow the Grand Duchy of Finland. You also had the Baltic, forget what they call, United Baltic Provinces, I think, is the Baltic one to the south. So it's not to say the Russians were all good, but they weren't as bad as the Ottomans. So you look at Turkey today, they have, what is Turkey is basically, you know, they've cleared out everyone else, sadly. But it was tougher to get away with that in Christian Europe, for whatever reason. And people were always threatening to go to war with Russia. That was a big part of it. Yeah, rewrite the history and offer only one future or death. Yeah, it's true. But I think, yeah, with Russia, whenever they were planning to reduce the autonomy of the Finns and things like that, Britain in particular would get annoyed, and we would threaten war. And so we did things like the Crimean War and all of this. So it wasn't all goodwill on the Russian side. You know, there were individuals. There's no point characterizing all of history one way or the other. you know, as if everyone in one group of history is always evil. But yeah, definitely. But yeah, I think there were different nations keeping each other in check is an important thing. I think the idea of just having runaway superpowers that aren't beholden to other people doesn't really work, and never just one person either. Yeah, I mean, not all over the world. I think sometimes a strong leader works. Sometimes a runaway parliament can be as bad as a runaway individual. I think to have no executive branch, because Britain, you know, to give my own British perspective, Britain has its executive branch of government in the monarch, but since World War II, basically the monarchs never used the executive branch of government. And that does mean there's loads of things Parliament does that the majority of people don't want. And constitutionally, the monarch's supposed to step in, but it just doesn't, because we've kind of got a runaway Parliament. We've got an oligarchy. And that's never fun. Because they always just use the word for Russians and Ukrainians and things. They always say, you know, a Russian oligarch and that sort of thing. They can exist anywhere. And you get a lot of those things where you follow the money and you see someone's done a policy and it's like, oh, that wasn't in the manifesto. That wasn't a popular idea. Why do you do that? And you follow the money, you see they got an investor. And it's like, there it is. There was a lot of that with Rishi Sunak. He reduced some of the prices and stuff. I appreciated that. The food was getting cheaper. But, yeah, there were a lot of banks and things like that shifting. Oh, I mean, you know, or they are the investor. That was the case with Rishi Sunak. He was simultaneously a banker and an investor and in charge of the British economy. So he had foreign companies he was on the board of and things, or people he knew was. I don't want to get it, you know, he had direct connections to companies abroad, and he would help them at the expense of Britain, and that was quite bad. So for all the good he did in reducing the cost of food and things, and as we're seeing that get quite bad, the cost of living stuff in Britain since he's gone, so I kind of appreciate that he was doing that. But yeah, there were also problems there, and that's why he got ousted. You know, so it's hard, isn't it? I think you never want to, you know, the checks and balances are good, and so I think that's where I would actually, in Britain, like the monarch to... There's ideas of, like, if the monarch can call a referendum and then act on that without Parliament, that historically sort of has been done, and that's a good check on a runaway Parliament. But you know, the current king doesn't have the might not even be able to get away with it. I don't know, but it's quite frustrating that the Constitution of Britain this is what's supposed to happen on paper and in the theory of it and everything, and it just is never done. It's really frustrating, but there it is. Well, that got really political. This is just meant to be a fun fantasy game. But that's one, you know, as in doing history. You know, I do church history and I do that sort of thing. The idea of the patriot king, that you've got the executive, that inspired the presidency in America. That they were like, people like Alexander Hamilton said, the reason the revolution happened was you had a runaway parliament that wasn't listening to the people. And sometimes the monarchs would, but the monarchs would just not. Rights and responsibilities, but best of luck holding to them. Yeah. Oh, well, yeah, to both. I think at the moment he's not holding to the responsibilities of the executive. And, yeah, that's... Yeah, it is what it is. But yeah, so it inspired the presidency that they were like, we're never going to again have the upper and lower house
run away with power without there being a check that could just totally curb them. So that's why the American presidency is very powerful. Whereas in loads of other countries, it's more or less just ceremonial. But in America, it's super not. And it's intentional because of that history where the British Parliament can get quite bad. And, you know, you get it with Cromwell. Still not popular in Ireland. He'll never be popular in Ireland because of what Parliament did with him in charge. That Parliament, it can run away. But yeah, sorry, I'm rabbiting on about politics. I should be playing this. So I wonder, is it possible to get him new weapons and armor? How do I do that? Can I just like plop my hero there? And then he's like, oh, that's how I do it. Alright, a grip. We'll get him the best grip we can. We'll get him the best pommel we can. That looks like entirely the wrong order. It's the pommel. Then the grip. Then, oh, either one. Okay, so now we've got to actually read. Attack power. I think attack power is probably best for... Oh, they're both attack power. So that they're identical. That looks more barbarian-y, I think. I could be wrong. There. Blades. Cutlass, dagger, or broadsword. Let's see. So that's a lot of attack power. That is more attack power. If I just make him a... Wait, I can just make him... Why would that be more powerful? No, it ceases to be more powerful after a point. Okay. Okay.
That's a mighty complex product. It's going to take a load of resources. Hope you know what you're doing.
That, however he learns to use that. Alright, let's just double check there's nothing, there's nothing, yeah, there's no other upgrades. It becomes more powerful because when he sees that they fall over giggling. That may be true. Look at that. We can design ammo. That could help. So that's it. That's the ideal weapon in the state of the game today. Like, this is all behind early access. So, you gotta do what you gotta do. There we go, and then we'll double up the grip. It works. Look at that.
That's a mighty complex product. It's going to take a load of resources.
Aha.
You know what you're doing.
Right. So if they're the same type, it doesn't double up. So we just get the better version of everything. If we have a better version. I suppose if we want it not to look quite so silly, we just double up the pommel, grips and so on immediately. So he's just got a very long dagger. So that is a viable weapon, just looking at the top. Even before it had a blade. But yeah, there we go. There he is. Oh. Whoa. Killed someone just to try it out. Not so sure about that. In order to do that, we're going to need wood. Metal. Where do we get metal? I mean, oh, well, maybe we'll unlock it. I mean, we might as well design everything. Then as soon as we can, we can just build our favoured weapon. Let's see, so that was so these have different stats. Armor rating 5. We just need them to survive as it stands. So we'll do that. 1, 2, 1. Double that up. 3. Also 3. Was one better on visual, but they're the same. I like that look at that one more. Yeah. We already had feet. What am I doing? Hips. That one visually fits in more, I think. 2. 1. Yeah, and it's better. Bada boom. Arms. Oh, quite a selection. 2. 1. 2. 1. 1. That was a 2, wasn't it? No, that was a 1. That's a 2. Bada boom. Bada bing. Legs. 1. 3. 3. Hosen.
That's a mighty complex product. It's going to take a load of resources. Hope you know what you're doing.
Oh, and hands though. You can have something on the hands as well. Of course. Visual appeal 4. What's that one for as well? That's more appealing. Ooh. That doesn't go. Whereas that does. There. Yeah. Well, they're not super armor, to be honest. But there we go. There it is. Turret. The ridiculous. You see where the guy was holding the sword? Yeah. Was it the same sword we designed before? Oh yeah, I didn't notice that. We'll be able to watch that back. But we're gonna need metal to try that out. Where are we gonna find metal? So the plan before, well, we've built these towers So, no, more like a claymore. Ah, so that was we decided not to build a claymore. But are they going to follow me? Come on. Are they going to follow? Ah. Yeah, come on. What? Alright, if I've just got one on his own, maybe I can take this guy down. Gosh, he's not going down. I was holding it at the base of the blade. Can we see if we can draw them? Is it literally impossible to kill them at this juncture? Yeah, I mean, we can sort of lead them. They're gullible enough. Oh, it locks them. That's a bit annoying. But what we can do now... Oh, is that going to do it? Yeah, we've done it. Maybe the weak guy was doing something after all. Yeah. It's possible we've beaten bandits before they've even supposed to. Oh, that was good. Alright, I mean it nearly killed our hero. But I think it was worth it. That might have gotten him XP, maybe. I don't think it will have done. But yeah, maybe. We'll do the sandwich thing later. For the time being, oh look at that. Yes, we'll let it go to night, and then we'll see what we can do about the chain lightning seems to be the most powerful. That must have been the upgrade we got. So what happened last time, if memory serves, is these lot survived and then made their way to us in the cave. Wow, this was not very difficult at all. How did we lose last time? Yikes. Oh! Hey up! Oh, it's not technically a win yet. Old horses. Oh, they're coming. Oh, do I still have no magic? Huh? Oh, I managed to get it bit. Where's all the magic gone? we'll get him healing up and then he can... Oh, there's training in there. I should have got him training. Possibly. Ah. Oh wait, I can skip to the day. Oh, that did it. So we missed one of the options. But that was fine. Because we just wanted to survive. We didn't need... Look, we've already got plenty of tokens. More than we can use in early access, really. If we're being honest.
We, well, you, need to be more efficient in your protecting of products, or Tricky McDicky will be down here with his nutcrackers. Time to swell the population of this town. Time to hire seven more workers.
Oh, we've already been on this.
Don't forget, you need space in your protection buildings as well as space in your houses before you can hire.
Oh, they got better orders.
Everybody who wants to employ you
I think.
needs a place to live as well as a place to work. Meaning one bedroom per house and one workstation per job for each worker. You understand?
Yeah, we've already been doing this. Crust is enough. Why did it flip it upside down? There. That seems perfect, I guess. Yeah, this is what they wanted. Crust is enough. That's what it says on the tin. 6 points. Oh, it wasn't perfect. 8 out of 10. Brr. All right. Very well. A pie or nothing. I mean, that's what they said. Crust is enough. So, I don't, you know, I just took it literally. To the best of my ability. Oh, what else? Should I put something in the pie, like the crust of bread? Do you think? I'm not totally convinced of what to do. I'll try that next time. Look at that, with all that. We're not even denting the amount of flour we have. What's finished food like? I didn't have the top crust yet, so I just put a pie crust in the pie crust. Did that get 10 out of 10? But yeah, maybe we should have done that. But then it would have been balanced rather than basic. And I'm not sure they want you to overdo it. They were maybe wrong. 10 out of 10? Oh, so the crust top wasn't what he wanted. Well, I don't think he made that very clear at all. I don't feel too bad. Like, it's not all my fault. They could have been like cross bottoms enough. We could have said. I'll take that up with the devs. Finished food is a lot of potatoes and soups. Lovely. Nice. I did have I went to when the Peltillers were getting married, I went there. And they had these finished sweets, and they were like green and just absolutely delicious. I forget exactly what they tasted like. And also, I loved, there was a great licorice, a salted licorice. Oh, that I had to get imported. Marmalade. No, I don't think so. Pear? Yes, pear. I think it was pear. Yes. However I pronounce that, that seems to ring a bell. Salmiakki. Could be. I gave it a go. Oh, it's bread and leaf again. We decided not to do that until we have more options. Salmiakki and but the salted licorice I haven't had that in ages. Oh, I really want to get that. That was so Moorish, so nice. More condiments. That might be what we needed. Well, we could probably get more wheat. Not that we need it, but yeah, I used to at university. I used to just get loads of this, and I'd deal it out to people. I was like, "Oh, do you want this licorice?" People wanted to hang out with me because I had this amazing licorice. I've never got an order of bread and leaf. Well, I'm hoping these new condiments, sweet cake toppings, weapons. Okay. Buildings? What? This might be a glitch. Look up Viriat Kulat. Those might be the green things. Alright, let's make them a building sandwich. You're not the weird builds, right? That's true! So this is what weird builds is. Wow. A little too weird. Wow. What were the additional condiments? Because these just look like the base. Cake with a dagger in it, eh? Does that make it more sophisticated? So we're looking for a balanced leafy sandwich. House in a pie crust egg? Is that finished food? Oh, that's made at the right level. But yeah, no, whenever I've had finished food, it's very nice. I found out that, because I was looking at St. Henry the English, when I was looking at his life, I found they described him as coming from Kalima, which apparently at the time, maybe it still does, meant cabbage land. And people often call Russia that today. But I think at the time it just meant like a backwater or something. But there's apparently a stereotype in some parts of Finland that Russians very much... Kalima, yes! So they used to call parts of rural England that, like where St. Henry the English is from. Whereas now, yeah, they reserve that for Russia. Cabbage land. Oh, he doesn't like it. Well, he likes it a little. Is it the vegetable? Yeah, let's see what happens if we put a blade on top. Look at that! He loves it. Alright, let's do that. So we'll at least get the quest out of the way. 5 points. He got 8 out of 10. Caliber. Yeah. So they say St. Henry the English is from Kalima. At the time that just meant a sort of backwater. So he's just from who knows where, you know, just from rural England. Balanced indeed. Yes. A sword is balanced as all things should be. Do we need metal for it? No, I don't think so. Oh, that would have been bad. Yeah. So I have, as I said, I have written about Finland a fair few times on the Patreon, but I've never had to pronounce it for whatever reason. But I should learn it. I should learn more living languages. I know a few dead ones, though I can only really read them. But that helps me with all my sources. But it will definitely open things up. There was a great story of a Swedish king who crash landed in Finland or Novgorod. But that sort of area, the Eastern Baltic. And then he decided to become a monk there. A Swedish king. There's lots of stories of rivalry between Finland and Sweden in church history over the years. I always find those sort of things fascinating. Because today, a lot of Finns would like to be considered Nordic. They want to be part of that gang. Whereas a lot of, in history, was like saying, no, we're definitely not. We're like Baltic. We're not part of your gang. We're trying to, when independence was on the line, it's just interesting to see how things go. And now it's even spread to Estonia, that Estonia's like, oh no, we're Nordic as well, if Finland is. So, it's funny how things go from... Though I think there still is rivalry between Finland and Sweden. But also there's that, where it's like wanting to be part of the Nordic world and things. That they didn't want to be. If you had asked a Finn 1,000 years ago whether he wanted to be part of the Nordic world, I think you probably would say no. I think. I may be wrong. Yeah. You also have Scotland petitioning to join the Arctic League or the Arctic Circle or something. So they want to kind of join it as well. So at the moment it's a cool club to be in. But yeah, as I say. Oh, so wait, I've got to employ 13 more workers, but I'd already industrialized. This is bad. Alright, so I can put that there. Nice. Can they reach that? Yeah, I mean, one interesting thing, with a lot of the Nordic countries, I know some Danes say they can understand Swedish and Norwegian as if it were Danish. Is it the same with Finnish and Estonian? Or are they much more different? Are they Finno-Baltic sort of? Oh, you must have waited to sleep. Oh, very well. See you around Melisomnia. I'll probably follow you. I've got to go to bed myself, actually. It's getting late in GMT time. So, it's rather similar for sure. Nice. That is interesting. Yeah, so I'll shuffle. But I'll get an ambience set up then. For the ambulance hour. And I can probably do the first person if I need to. So I'll figure out somewhere to do it. But yeah, alright. Good night. God bless. Hope you have a good one. Gargoyles. Oh, I missed those.
Sweet silence. Though I fear this was but the opening act. There are more of these loquacious lumps infesting the countryside.
a busy-ish location. See you, Melisomnia. Have a good one. Is that the right place? This could be a nice one. Level up. Oh, we can level up. Just get him to survive. Yeah, this is nice. This will be the second ambience hour then. Alright, well I hope everyone's had a nice run. I know I have. Quite a nice game. So I'll up the game capture so you can all enjoy that. And yeah, see you I guess in the morning. You know, I'll leave it overnight, do the ambience hours again. See you then.